So we built our first application, and hopefully you saw how easy it is to get started with Vue.js. This is where we are at now in the course. We're getting started, but we'll leave this soon. And thereafter, we start diving super deep into it, starting with how we can interact with the DOM, how we can output data, which different ways we have, how we can bind to HTML attributes, how we can listen to events, and much, much more. These are actually multiple modules in this course, and you will get a very first great impression or understanding of how Vue.js works. Well, thereafter it's time to deeply dive into the Vue instance, this core object each Vue application in the end, or widget, or whatever you're creating, uses. How does it work? Which lifecycle does it follow? How can you use it to your advantage? Well, then it's time to leave JS Fiddle, which we'll use for the first sections, and really learn about how you could set up more professional workflows. We'll use the Vue CLI for that, but that really isn't a CLI doing all the work. It's just a CLI which provides you some easy to use and quickly to get started with templates, for example, then using Webpack in the end. We will talk in greater detail about this in this section, of course. With the more professional workflows set up, we can dive into components, a key concept of Vue.js. You build up your application from components. You can create reusable parts containing a template and business logic, which you then can use in different places in your app. Really powerful. And I will actually have multiple modules here about the basics, about how you can communicate between components, and some advanced concepts. Well, with all these core features being set, we will then have a look at forms. How can we handle user input? How can we use different form elements? And how can we create our own form control? Thereafter, we'll have a look at directives, filters, and mixins. What are all these things? How can they help you? How would you use them in your application? Well, we're getting really advanced here, and then we're going to have a look at animations and transitions. You want to make your application beautiful, and here we will learn how Vue.js makes that very easy, how it supports us animating dynamic content or the switching from one component to another. Well, with that, we're really diving super deep into it, but until now, we always stayed in our Vue.js application. What if we need to reach out to a server to store something in a database? Well, we can do that, and we will learn how we can access the HTTP from within a Vue.js application in this part of the course. Thereafter, time to have a look at what we would need to create bigger applications, namely single-page applications. For that, we will need routing, and of course I have a whole module dedicated to that, where you will learn how the router works, how to set it up, how to use child routes, how to pass parameters, and much more. That belongs in the world of single-page applications, and kind of like so does the state management we'll have a look at then. Managing the state in more complex applications can quickly become a problem, as you will see there, and I will also provide a solution, Vuex, a great additional package which makes this easy. That concludes the single-page application part, and we'll then have a look at deployment. How can we actually ship our application to a server? Does this sound great? To me, it does, and I can't wait to dive deeper into that. I'll do so soon. Let's next have a look at which resources this course gives you to make your progress, besides watching these videos, as easy as possible.